Okay, so for the audience that joined us for our Oscars coverage, I wanted to dive into Cannes. They have announced their selection for the 79th festival this year. And it's, is it Park Chan-wook that is
he's the jury president this
president?
year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm interested. Have you taken a look at the films that have been selected here?
I have taken a look. I think this is a pretty stacked roster. I think more so than last year, at least on the face of it. I mean, you never know, but you never know how the actual films are going to turn out. But there's a lot of big names in terms of the European award circuits, and including a number that we haven't really seen a film from for a while. You know, like Pavel Pawlikowski, Christian Mungiu. James Gray, which was a kind of a late addition. I think they just recently announced that the new James Gray movie will in fact be at Cannes. It wasn't clear before. So in addition to some people, like, you could expect to see a new Hirokazu Koreeda or a new Almodovar movie. We've got some other guys. That Russian guy, what's his name? Andrei Zvignetsev or something. He's to another guy. Like, some of these guys haven't actually had a new movie in 6, 7, 8 years. So that adds to the intrigue for me. I think there is a lot of big filmmakers coming out, and it definitely, like, when I remember when I saw the lineup for last year's Cannes, and I was like, you're expecting me to get stoked about Eddington? Like, it felt a lot thinner compared to my reaction to this one. I don't know. What's your reaction?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that there is like almost zero Hollywood presence here. Like, it's
That's
very,
true.
very
like last year. I think they
here.
had Mission Impossible at Cannes. They're not doing like the classic, like, let's just throw in one or two big Hollywood titles for the buzz.
And there's, like you said, there's a big European presence. I think like Spain has like 3 films that are in here, and there's a lot of East Asian presence as well. So I think that's really interesting. I think like the East Asian presence, that's like something that has been like building. It feels like kind of the decade has been, kind of recentering the film's world's gravity around East Asia. And so
new Hamaguchi too. We have
Hamaguchi Koreeda.
It's been a few years since there's been a Hamaguchi, though. You say that there are a few Japanese and Koreans. Are there any Chinese movies though? Oh yeah. I'm going to take a look right now.
Pause for Googling.
At least not in competition. In competition, it looks like there's no Chinese movies. Last year, Resurrection, I believe, was in competition, but this year it doesn't look like it. Though there is that. There is, a couple Japanese, a couple Korean from big name filmmakers. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're really getting much Chinese. But you are right, at least in terms of Japan and Korea, that they're like some heavy hitters are well represented here.
So I'm interested to know what you think about this, like what this means, not necessarily within the context of the Oscar race, but if you've got thoughts on that, but about like kind of what this means for the identity for Cannes. Is this marking like a shift, do you think?
So the fact that there's no big Hollywood titles, as you pointed out, is something that I personally like. It feels like they're confident enough in this roster of, like I said, a lot of big filmmakers from places like Spain and France and Poland and Russia, as well as Japan and Korea, that they're not trying to draw more attention in by being like, here's the Odyssey, or I don't know, Avengers 6 or whatever the hell. That's great. I mean, I do think that Cannes should kind of stick to that identity. Like, these aren't by no means necessarily niche movies. A lot of these movies have big budgets and have big stars. But I'm the kind of guy who's like, I don't really want to see like Jerry Seinfeld in a bee suit showing up to promote B movie like he did that one year. Like, I feel like there were other venues for that to happen. That's cool, but there are venues for that, and the Cannes Film Festival is maybe not the one for it. Like, I do like it kind of sticking to its roots as like a showcase of European, especially, but also international, more generally, art house film.
Are any of these films that you think might be big players within the award season, or any that you're really stoked about seeing what it's going to mean from the horse race perspective?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think as recently as like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, it would have been stupid to even suggest that what happens at Cannes could affect the Hollywood awards race, because they were just completely two different ecosystems. Now that seems like there is a lot of overlap between the two ecosystems. We just this recent Oscars ended a 3-year streak of the Palme d'Or winner being nominated for Best Picture, culminating with Anora becoming the second movie to win both the Palme d'Or and Best Picture, Parasite being the first not too long ago, which isn't to say that this past Oscars was not very Cannes heavy. We had Sentimental Value and The Secret Agent, both Best Picture nominees, which were both awarded films at Cannes, and as well as Seurat and the Palme d'Or winner, It Was Just an Accident, also being well represented. So there definitely was a big influence, or a big overlap at least, between what happened at Cannes and what happened at the Oscars, which didn't used to be the case at all. What forces are driving this kind of feeling that the European film festival circuit and the Hollywood award circuit are starting to overlap? I'm not too sure. I think the cynical answer is just that Neon Releasing is getting really good at buying the heavy hitters out of the award circuit and then marketing them as potential award winners stateside. But in terms of what's going on this year, I think the Pavel Pawlikowski movie, Fatherland, is one that I could imagine being an Oscars player. I think he hasn't made a movie since Cold War, which was at least 7 or 8 years ago, I think. I don't think Cold War was up for Best Picture, but it was like in conversations, I remember, and it was a movie that was like seen by a lot of people in North America. And I think in the current era, it would have been a Best Picture nominee because it had that kind of buzz and clout. It has Sandra Hüller in it as well, who is somebody who is definitely making more and more of a presence in Hollywood. She's in Project Hail Mary, which is the first blockbuster of the year. She's also going to be in Digger, the Tom Cruise movie, directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu, coming out later this year. She's the female lead in that. So I think Hollywood viewers are getting more and more familiar with Sandra Hüller, and that is probably going to help Fatherland get more eyeballs in America on it. So that's why I could kind of see that as being something that is embraced by critics in the West and becomes at least a Best Picture nominee. I don't know. What about you? Do any of these titles strike you as ones that could end up in the Best Picture race?
I think that you tap like Fatherland as kind of the big one that I think we might see, but I wouldn't be too surprised to see Sheep in the Box make a push, like depending on how it's received. Just
wait, is that the Corrieda? Which one's that?
Yeah, that's the Corrieda one. Yeah, and it's about a guy that substitutes his dead son with a robot, and so I think that there is potential for this idea of like AI replacement being something that really resonates with people right now, and so I could see people kind of getting behind this film a little bit, just thematically, and obviously Corrieda being kind of the visionary behind it is something that's going to help. Whether that segment of the audience that is looking for a AI replacement story, whether they rally behind Sheep in the Box or Toy Story 5 is remained to be seen, but could be an interesting parallel.
The first ever Cannes AI Film Festival was just two days ago, by the way. I don't know if you checked out the winners for the first ever Cannes AI Film Festival.
Definitely have not, but
it was great. Yeah, the top prize went to The Dark Knight in the style of a Wes Anderson movie. Yeah, I'm just making that up. Obviously, I don't give a shit about that.
Was that actually a thing that happened?
There was an AI con 2 days ago. Yes, there's people who organized an AI film festival and obviously ostentatiously held it in Cannes.
Oh my god, that is. We are in the darkest timeline.
Yeah. You know what I will say though, for like all these big name filmmakers, some of whom have Palme d'Ors on their resume already, that are going to be showing up this year, I'm almost more interested in the one who isn't, which is Ruben Östlund, whose new movie, The Entertainment System, was widely expected to premiere at Cannes this year. He has this new movie that's been in post-production for a while. I think Keanu Reeves stars in it, English language movie. And Ruben Östlund has won the Palme d'Or twice for The Square and Triangle of Sadness. Triangle of Sadness was also a Best Picture nominee, of course, a couple years ago. And he wants to be the first filmmaker to have 3 Palme d'Or winners. Nobody's ever won 3. There's a few different filmmakers who've won 2. And he wants to be the first filmmaker to win 3. Like, he's literally just said that. He's open about it. And because post-production is more complicated than he expected, which is the reason he's given, he hasn't been able to have the movie ready for Cannes this year, even though it was widely expected to. And he has just said that he's now not going to release it until Cannes next year. He's going to sit on it for a year rather than release it at another festival because he wants that 3rd Palme d'Or so bad. And I almost wonder if he's kind of fibbing about post-production taking too long, and he's more just intimidated by the lineup this year. And he's thinking, maybe the lineup will be weaker last year, and I'll insert it then.
Valid concern.
Yeah. But I just think it's funny to have a filmmaker out there who's so nakedly hungry for it, who just wants the Palme d'Or bad.
Yeah. There's honorary palms that are going to Peter Jackson and Barbara Streisand, which I guess is like probably the most Western presence that we've got here, or North American presence in the Cannes lineup. I
mean, it should be pointed out the new James Gray movie, like I mentioned, Paper Tigers, which is a crime drama, is going to be in competition and could potentially be a front runner. But James Gray's in that weird position where he's a Hollywood filmmaker, but his movies tend to be pretty ignored in America, even though in France he's viewed as one of the great American filmmakers. Correctly, I think. I love James Gray, but it is weird to have like a Hollywood crime drama with I think Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson are heading the cast that probably has a realistic chance at a Palme d'Or, and I would say probably no chance at the Oscar, because James Gray movies don't get that kind of attention in America for whatever reason. Like, his last movie was Armageddon Time, which was nowhere near the awards races that year. So yeah, that's a Hollywood presence, but it's the kind of Hollywood presence that it's like they just seem to like in France and don't like that much in America for whatever cultural reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that we have had such a streak of Palme d'Or winners being in the Best Picture race, it would definitely give that film. Who knows?
If it actually won the Palme d'Or, in that case, it would be kind of hard to ignore, I guess, like you said, because that's kind of been the case recently. Though James Gray has never won a Palme d'Or before, but who knows? Like I said, they like him a lot in France. And you just never know what's going to come out and be the surprise hit. Like, if you look at the Cannes films that ended up being in the Oscars race, like Sentimental Value, you maybe could have predicted. Joachim Trier movies have kind of had some penetration in America before. The Worst Person in the World was in like awards buzz and stuff. So there's like some precedent for that. It wasn't super shocking that a Joachim Trier movie with like some English language dialogue and Elle Fanning in it would end up being in the race, though it was maybe surprising to what extent it was with the number of nominations it had. But beyond that, like, who would have expected The Secret Agent and Surratt to be players before they premiered? Like, those were not, I don't think, on anybody's award season's radar. It was just an accident, maybe, because Jafar Panahi is kind of that guy with a big reputation. But it just goes to show you don't know like which relatively unheralded filmmakers' work might end up penetrating.
Well, I'm excited to see how it all plays out. And, often at cons, we get a little bit of like some bidding war. So we know which, distributors are trying to back which films. And that gives us a little bit of an idea of what the landscape could potentially look like. So I'm interested to see what kind of signals we get.
And now I'm wondering, because since I've been talking about Fatherland as the one that I think has the most chance of being an awards contender, I'm wondering if that has any kind of deals in place with American distributors already.
Maybe? Is it movie?
Okay. I am literally Googling right now because I'm curious if I can see anything. Because, wouldn't be surprised if there already was some sort of distribution deal in place. The Match Factory owns international sales rights. Mubi will distribute it in North America. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Mubi will distribute it in North America. Okay, so Mubi's kind of, more of a lightweight newcomer compared to Neon and A24, but they did The Substance 2 years ago, and The Substance was a Best Picture nominee. So they've gotten their feet wet in terms of having an actual Oscars contender. That's a big pickup for them. I think that could potentially, and you got to expect that Mubi probably doesn't have a huge roster of a bunch of movies since they aren't such a big distribution force. They only just started very recently doing like theatrical exclusive distribution. So you would think that they'd put all their weight behind that movie because, what else are they going to put it behind?
Yeah, totally.
And the Entertainment System, which is the Ruben Östlund movie, I know already has a deal in place with A24, despite, again, it apparently not coming out this year, not coming out till 2027 because Östlund wants it so bad. And I can't wait for that movie to come out because it just sounds like such a Ruben Östlund premise. I don't know if you've heard what it is, but it's like it takes place on like an overseas flight where the in-flight entertainment system goes down.
Oh no, I have not heard about this.
Yeah. And man, it would be so crazy if those characters, phony skin of liberal respectability would start to crack and reveal the egotistical impulses beneath. But that'd be too much to hope for, I'm sure, coming from a Ruben Östlund movie. I don't like the guy. The guy's annoying. But yeah, we'll. There's a Ferrari movie too. Yeah, there's things that we haven't even talked about. So we will see.
We'll have to circle back once the festival is in full swing or has concluded.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
All right. Well, I think that about does it. Do you have anything else before we wrap things up, Dylan?
No, I don't think I do. I'll just say thanks for listening to everybody. And if you want to read some of my writings about movies, look for me on Substack. My name is Dylan, Dylan Ferguson. It's just my name. I write very occasionally about film. It is a free Substack, so feel free to hop on over there and subscribe if that kind of thing interests you. The thing that I've got up right now is about Project Hail Mary.
Awesome. And I'm Craig Midwinter. Don't look for me. Just hit subscribe here if you're watching on YouTube or on Spotify or wherever else. Again, thank you to all our new listeners. Be sure to leave us a comment. Tell your friends. It helps us out a ton. If you want to check out our Instagram, it's at Bravo Outsider. We post clips there very occasionally, but you can get a vibe for some of our old shows.
And be sure to check out Craig's latest op-eds in the New York Times. He's writing as Thomas Friedman.
Until next week, good night, baby. You are loved.